Forklift Operator Safety Trivia Quiz. What do you understand by forklift operator safety? Forklift operator safety entails questions like when should forklift inspections be required, and how often OSHA provides the training. What is the most secure way to cross a railroad track? Does a forklift need a seatbelt? Are forklift injuries common? What is the maximum safe speed? And what do you do if the load is too heavy? This quiz has a load of information for you. Go for it. Questions and answers. 1. Forklift inspections are only required once per year. B. False forklift inspections are not only required once per year. Inspections should be conducted regularly to ensure the safe operation of forklifts and to identify any potential issues or hazards. Regular inspections help to prevent accidents, maintain the forklift's functionality, and comply with safety regulations. Therefore, the statement that forklift inspections are only required once per year is false. 2. A forklift will tip over if the center of gravity is outside the stability triangle. True if the center of gravity of a forklift is located outside the stability triangle. It means that the weight distribution of the forklift is not balanced and is shifted towards one side. This unbalanced weight distribution can cause the forklift to become unstable and tip over. Therefore, the statement that a forklift will tip over if the center of gravity is outside the stability triangle is true. 3. OSHA requires retraining at least every 3 years. True. OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, mandates that retraining must be conducted at least every 3 years. This requirement ensures that employees stay updated on safety protocols and regulations, reducing the risk of accidents and promoting a safe working environment. By regularly refreshing their knowledge and skills, employees can adapt to any changes in the workplace and maintain a high level of safety awareness. Therefore, the statement OSHA requires retraining at least every 3 years is true. 4. The safest way to cross a railroad track is at an angle. True. Crossing a railroad track at an angle is considered the safest way because it allows for better visibility and reduces the risk of getting stuck on the tracks. By crossing at an angle, you can see and hear oncoming trains more easily, giving you more time to react and avoid any potential accidents. Additionally, crossing at an angle helps to minimize the risk of your vehicle getting caught on the tracks, which could be dangerous if a train were to approach. Therefore, the statement that crossing a railroad track at an angle is the safest way is true. 5. If the forklift does not have a seatbelt, then it is not required on that particular model. B. False. The statement suggests that if a forklift does not have a seatbelt, it is not required on that particular model. However, this statement is false. Seatbelts are a safety requirement for forklifts, and their absence does not exempt a particular model from this requirement. All forklifts should be equipped with seatbelts to ensure the safety of the operator and prevent accidents. 6. Forklifts are designed to handle loads of any size and weight. B. False. Forklifts are not designed to handle loads of any size and weight. They have specific weight and size limits that they can safely handle. Exceeding these limits can result in accidents, damage to the forklift, and potential injury to the operator or others nearby. It is important to properly assess the weight and size of a load before using a forklift to ensure safe operation. 7. Driving with an obstructed view is allowed if it is only within 10 yards. B. False. Driving with an obstructed view is not allowed, regardless of the distance. It is essential for drivers to have a clear view of the road and their surroundings at all times, to ensure their safety and the safety of others on the road. Having an obstructed view can lead to accidents and is considered a violation of traffic laws. Therefore, the statement that driving with an obstructed view is allowed if it is only within 10 yards is false. 8. Although forklift injuries are common, no one has ever been killed in a forklift accident. B. False. The statement contradicts itself. It states that forklift injuries are common, but then claims that no one has ever been killed in a forklift accident. If injuries are common, it is highly unlikely that no fatalities have occurred. Therefore, the statement is false. 9. Maximum safe speed should be equivalent to around 20 miles per hour. B. False. The given statement is false. The maximum safe speed should not be equivalent to around 20 miles per hour. The appropriate maximum safe speed can vary depending on various factors such as the road conditions, traffic, weather conditions, and the specific speed limits set for the area. It is essential to follow the speed limits and adjust the speed accordingly to ensure safety while driving. 10. It is okay to give someone in management a ride if the walk is more than 200 yards. B. False. Giving someone in management a ride if the walk is more than 200 yards is not okay. This suggests that there may be a preference or special treatment given to individuals in management, which can create a perception of favoritism or inequality within the organization. It is important to treat all employees fairly and consistently, regardless of their position in the company. 11. No person is allowed to pass underneath a raised load. True. The statement implies that it is not permitted for any individual to pass beneath a load that has been lifted off the ground. This safety precaution is commonly followed in order to prevent accidents or injuries caused by falling objects. Therefore, the correct answer is true. 12. If the load is too heavy or too far from the fulcrum, the forklift will tip forward. True. If the load is too heavy or too far from the fulcrum, it creates an imbalance in the weight distribution of the forklift. This imbalance causes the center of gravity to shift towards the front of the forklift, making it tip forward. Therefore, it is true that if the load is too heavy or too far from the fulcrum, the forklift will tip forward. 13. The load center is the sensor on the forklift that warns if the load is too heavy. B. False. The given statement is false, because the load center is not a sensor on the forklift that warns if the load is too heavy. The load center refers to the center of gravity of the load being carried by the forklift. It is an important concept for determining the stability and safe handling of the load, but it is not a sensor that provides a warning. 14. Without a load, a forklift can never tip over. B. False. A forklift can tip over even without a load. Factors such as uneven ground, sharp turns, excessive speed, or improper operation can cause a forklift to tip over, regardless of whether it is carrying a load or not. Therefore, the statement that a forklift can never tip over without a load is false. 15. If a forklift begins to tip over, you should quickly jump away from the forklift and falling items. B. False. If a forklift begins to tip over, jumping away from the forklift and falling items is not the correct action to take. Jumping away can actually increase the risk of injury. Instead, it is recommended to stay inside the forklift, hold onto the steering wheel, and brace yourself. This helps to maintain stability and reduces the chances of being crushed by the forklift or falling items. 16. Driving across a slope or angle could cause the forklift to tip over. True. Driving across a slope or angle can cause the forklift to tip over because it creates an imbalance in weight distribution. When the forklift is on an incline, the center of gravity shifts, making it more likely to lose stability. This can result in the forklift tipping over, posing a serious safety hazard. Therefore, it is important to avoid driving across slopes or angles to prevent accidents and ensure the safe operation of the forklift. 17. When transporting a load on a slope, always keep the forks pointed downhill. B. False. When transporting a load on a slope, it is important to keep the forks pointed uphill, not downhill. This is because keeping the forks pointed uphill helps to prevent the load from sliding off the forks and potentially causing accidents or injuries. By pointing the forks uphill, the load is held securely in place by the backrest of the forklift, reducing the risk of it shifting or falling off. Therefore, the correct answer is false. 18. Forks should be lowered to the ground when the operator is more than 25 feet away. True, when the operator is more than 25 feet away, it is recommended to lower the forks to the ground. This is because keeping the forks raised while being far away from the forklift can pose a safety risk. Lowering the forks to the ground helps to ensure stability and prevents any accidental movement or tipping of the forklift. It also reduces the risk of the forks hitting any obstacles or causing damage to the surroundings. Therefore, it is important to follow this guideline for safe operation of the forklift. 19. Battery charging should only be done in designated areas. True, battery charging should only be done in designated areas to ensure safety and prevent any potential hazards. Designated areas are equipped with proper facilities and safety measures to handle the charging process, such as fire suppression systems and ventilation. Charging batteries in non-designated areas can lead to accidents, including fires and explosions. Therefore, it is important to follow the guidelines and regulations set by authorities and only charge batteries in designated areas. 20. Lifting an employee on the forks is approved only if your supervisor is watching. B. False lifting an employee on the forks is not approved, regardless of whether or not your supervisor is watching. It is a safety hazard and against workplace regulations to lift employees using forklift forks. This practice can result in serious injuries or accidents and should be strictly avoided.